They're floating cities, packed with theaters, swimming pools, restaurants, and even roller coasters. But behind the glamour, cruise ships hide some insane secrets. Today, we're diving deep into 50 facts about cruise ships that will absolutely blow your mind. Let's set sail. Let's start with the sheer scale of these behemoths. The world's largest cruise ship, icon of the seas, is longer than the Eiffel Tower laid on its side. Imagine that. These ships can carry over 7,000 passengers plus thousands of crew members. That's basically a small city floating on the ocean. And how do you feed a city? With a massive buffet, of course. Some ships serve more than 30,000 meals every single day. To prepare for a voyage, a single cruise ship might stock over 100,000 pounds of chicken. That's a lot of poultry. And what holds these giants in place? The anchors. Just one anchor can weigh more than 30 cars combined. It's an incredible feat of engineering. Speaking of incredible feats, the longest cruise in history lasted a staggering 245 days, visiting every single continent except Antarctica. Can you imagine packing for that trip? But it's not just about size and food. The entertainment is just as over the top. Some ships have full-sized ice skating rinks right in the middle of the warm Caribbean. The crew that makes all this magic happen often comes from over 60 different countries, creating a true floating United Nations. Everyone works together to give you the perfect vacation. Now, let's talk money. Some of the most luxurious suites on board can cost more than $100,000 for a single week. For that price, you get private butlers, massive balconies, and unbelievable views. But don't worry, cruising isn't just for the ultra-rich. On the flip side, a simple interior cabin can sometimes be cheaper than staying at a hotel on land, making it a surprisingly affordable getaway. But what's the environmental cost? The average cruise ship burns about 250 tons of fuel every single day. That sounds like a lot, but here's a surprising twist. On a per-passenger mile basis, modern ships are actually more fuel efficient than airplanes. They're constantly innovating to become greener. In fact, some ships recycle nearly 100% of their water. They're also floating power plants, generating all their own electricity right on board. Now for some things you don't see. Have you ever heard of the I-95? It's a network of secret, crew-only hallways that run the entire length of the ship, allowing staff to move around quickly without getting caught in passenger traffic. And at the helm of it all is the captain. Captains usually make over $150,000 per year, and on board, they're treated like bona fide celebrities. And for a darker, more practical secret, cruise ships have onboard morgues. It's a somber necessity, but it's there to handle emergencies and ensure that any eventuality can be managed with dignity. On a lighter note, let's talk about a modern necessity, the internet. At sea, it's still one of the slowest and most expensive luxuries you can buy. So maybe a cruise is the perfect time for a digital detox. While you're offline, the kitchens never, ever stop. Chefs work in 24/7 shifts to feed thousands of hungry passengers around the clock. And when you're done eating, you can take a dip in one of the many pools. Most big ships have more than 10 of them. Now let's get into some of the more fun and bizarre facts. If you've ever been near a Disney cruise ship, you might have heard its special horn. It doesn't just hoot, it plays the first few notes of When You Wish Upon a Star. It's pure magic. And remember how big these ships are. Some are longer than for football fields lined up end to end. There are cruises for literally every interest. You can find sailings dedicated to cats and their owners, legendary rock bands, or even Star Wars fans, complete with costume contests and character meet and greets. The amenities are getting wilder, too. One ship boasts a full-sized roller coaster on its top deck, while the Queen Mary has a planetarium for stargazing at sea. Ever wonder where all the fresh water comes from in the middle of the ocean? Cruise ships produce millions of gallons of it daily by desalinating seawater. It's an incredible process, and getting around these massive vessels is easier than you think. The elevators are strategically placed so you lines never have to walk more than about 500 feet to find one. Don't have a room with a view? No problem. Some interior rooms have fake virtual balconies, which are high-definition screens showing live footage from the outside of the ship. It's the next best thing to the real deal. To put their size into perspective again, many cruise ships are bigger than entire aircraft carriers. And the future is here. Some ships now have robot bartenders that will mix and serve your cocktail with perfect precision. Let's build the suspense with some unbelievable but true stories. A cruise ship once served a mind-boggling 150-foot-long pizza to its passengers. I can't even imagine the size of the oven. While passengers live in luxury, the crew often sleeps in small, shared cabins, with 4 people sharing very tight spaces. But they have their own world below deck, complete with secret parties and a tight-knit community. And think about the logistics. The laundry machines on a large ship wash over 200,000 items per week. That's towels, bed sheets, and all the uniforms. Some ships bring nature on board. The Allure of the Seas has a central park in the middle of the ship, complete with over 12,000 real, living plants. Are these ships safe in rough seas? Absolutely. They are designed to withstand waves as high as 50 feet. And for medical needs, every cruise has at least one full hospital on board, staffed with doctors and nurses. The sewage system is another hidden marvel, advanced enough to process waste for thousands of people daily in an environmentally responsible way. For some people, cruising isn't just a vacation, it's a lifestyle. There are passengers who live on cruise ships year-round instead of owning a traditional house. They just hop from one ship to another, and for the thrill seekers, the longest water slide at sea is over 800 feet long. That's a wild ride with an ocean view, ready for the final stretch. Here are the facts that will leave you speechless. On average, 30 million people take a cruise every single year. It's a massive industry. If you think a year-long cruise is long, think again. There are luxury residential cruises that last for 3 years nonstop, continuously circling the globe. Love is in the air, and sometimes, underwater. Some passengers have actually gotten married in underwater ceremonies during scuba diving excursions. Before any ship leaves port, it must pass a mandatory lifeboat drill to ensure everyone knows the safety procedures. And yes, even in the middle of the ocean, you can get cash. There are ATM machines on board. The scale of the galleys continues to amaze. Kitchens use over 1,000 pounds of flour daily, just for baking fresh bread and pastries. Ever wondered why the pool water feels so fresh? That's because cruise ships often dump and refill their swimming pools with fresh seawater every single morning. A ship's propeller is a work of art in itself, with some weighing more than 100 tons. And remember the celebrity captains. Some are so popular that they have dedicated fan clubs of returning passengers who book cruises specifically to sail with them again. But here's the craziest fact of all, a testament to their incredible engineering. Modern cruise ships are designed so perfectly, with watertight compartments, that they can theoretically stay afloat even if they were completely cut in half. From floating cities to hidden secrets, cruise ships are so much more than just vacations. They are engineering marvels packed with unbelievable surprises. Which fact blew your mind the most? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more insane facts about travel and history. Thanks for watching.